back to the bit between. Let's go to Brabazon Work World. Work World. The first work world to be established in Albion. Working here, debtors can escape prison. They remain till their debts are repaid and the ticketway has been funded. The primary industry is hours processing, which has the side effect of accelerating time on the work world surface. So that's a byproduct of what they are doing, not something they are actually looking to do. The dock is between Brabazon Work World and Little Nice, where the more privileged overseers reside. The dock is, for captain's sake, nearer Little Nice, let's pronounce it the French way just because, than the work world. Unexpected aging would deter even the greediest captain from arriving. Okay. You could join a tour using a ministry stamped permit or just... That's not the same thing. Well, let's first see the options. Attempt to converse with an overseer. Right. Well, we can try that. We know we will fail, because we need to look in several places before we can find. Help the incautious driver hunt for the verdant fragment. Their connection to its progenitor should assist. Sure, whatever. The incautious driver spends hours sniffing at the air in search of premier spores, but to no avail. We should try somewhere else. They reluctantly decide, shuffling with a characteristic glumness back towards the train. Sure. Okay, so what's the... Let's do some conversation before. Attempt to converse with an overseer. Few are willing to stop for mere conversation. Those that do will only linger at the Little Nice end of the tunnel. It's safer. An overseer shoves an empty car towards the Brabazon end of the bit between. It rolls to a stop beside two elderly ladies who hold it onto the work world. No one wishes to spend any time proximate to the work world that they are not obliged to. You can try again in 15 days. Whatever. Sure. Okay. With the right forms, you can requisition hours. The tour guide can use those to ensure you remain safe. The overseer requires information. No one can be sentenced to the work world without there first being evidence of a crime. Will you donate what you know to turn the wheels of industry? It doesn't say we would have to spend our secrets. Although that is the icon. Let's travel to Little Nice first. The governor of Brabazon Work World resides in a picturesque village at the far end of the bit between. Thick double doors separate the bit between from Little Nice. The fresh air of this pretty village is in sharp contrast to that near the dock. Little Nice is entirely charming. It is populated with carefully unique houses, painted in a curated array of colors. Overseers in striped blazers tend the topiary and maintain the paintwork. Behind a water feature bustling with cherubs is a cottage with an out of place little tower. This is the home of the governor of Brabazon. We could converse. Recline on the bench, write a port report. Port report first. The Brabazon Work World is one of several, but it is preeminent among them. As a major industrial center, it is of interest to many. The overseers here work hard to ensure Little Nice remains perfect, from the freshly painted fence curlicues to the newly mown grass of the lawn. It's hard to get a sense of what's going on in Brabazon from your current curated surroundings. The overseers themselves are of no use. They must have been briefed. Each gives you clearly sanitized information. You only have to speak to 4 before you hear a repetition. You will have to go down to the work world itself to learn anything true about Brabazon. Okay. So we can't write a board report here. Okay. Let's converse with the governor. Although I am now afraid that we won't learn anything. The governor runs Brabazon. In the absence of more direct control from London, he is all-powerful here. To gossip, that's fine. The governor has his back to you and doesn't see you enter. He's miming conducting to some jolly little tune on the gramophone. Is that something from Gilbert and Sullivan? Best leave him to it. We got tea. Okay. We don't need to lower terror. Let's go back to the bit between, I guess. And to the work world. Ah, sure, let's visit it. We'll use the permit. Because I'm afraid we would lose all of our secrets here. The overseer checks over your permit and sets aside some Brabazon hours to be woven for you. She hands the group over to the tool leader, who shepherds you all into a side room. The tool leader hands out thick cloaks to keep off the smut. The group covers itself. A hood lands one woman with her hair coiled. I'm having issues reading that. The hood lands one woman. The hood? The hood of a coat? The hood? As in neighborhood? Huh? Or perhaps it's some word they're using weirdly because of the setting of this world? I don't... Anyway, with her hair coiled up high on her head, an awkward shape and unexpected height. Satisfied, the tool leader begins a briefing. Receive a carriage clock. The tool leader presents you each with a carriage clock. As you know, time on the work world moves more velocitously than it does outside. In order to exempt you from the effects, we've had the zooms spin a full of external hours to cover the tour. Please carry these carriage clocks. They will show you how much your protection will last for. Please don't stray. He poses for emphasis. It is crucial that you stay with the tour. If your time runs out, every minute it takes for us to realize could be hours for you. There is a flurry of anxious whispers. Once it has subsided, the group is led onto the work world. It will show you how much time your protection will last for. Okay. Your group is accompanied by two overseers. The overseer bringing up the rear is a woman in her early 30s. She checks her carriage clock compulsively. Admire the rugs. Our first stop on the tour is the Brabazon rug weaving workshop. The overseer beams and gestures for you to enter a building larger than any other on the street. An attractive young worker leaps up to greet you. This workshop was built thanks to the generosity of Lady T. something. Please admire our beautiful handcrafted rugs and weavings exported for sale in London. Workers here gain skills that can support them for the rest of their days. The group of workers nods and smiles at you. One stands to better display their work, another thanks you for your visit. The youth is the last to see you out. Perhaps I see you elsewhere in Albion. Admire the rugs or smile at the workers. I don't think our character would smile at the workers. I don't think he would admire these cheap rugs either, to be honest. Maybe he would smile at them, because he would think about what he could do with them if they were to join their crew. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a sympathetic smile. They smile back, and their smiles are as stiff and rehearsed as the line the youth delivered. The tour moves on. Moving on from the rug workshop, the tour is directed towards a glass factory. The air is yellow with smoke. A fascinating aspect of Brabazon is the mutually beneficial relationship between the place and its workers. Yes, sounds like it. The overseer makes a sweeping gesture. Make note of this smoke. I'll explain more inside. The building you enter is heated by vast furnaces and ovens. Workers are blowing molten glass. The smoke prevents much of the sun's heat from reaching Brabazon. Without factories such as this, Brabazon would freeze. The workers keep the factories alive, the factories heat the work world, and it becomes a pleasant place to live. Here, work enriches life. Several of the group coo in admiration. One man boasts about his Brabazon glass collection. A young lady in gaudy finery turns to you. My parents paid for the main furnace to ensure that the poor would never go without. What did you fund? Confess you're not one of the donors. Declare you paid for the roof over your very heads. I do not see a benefit I could gain from that. Therefore, we'll just go with the honest line here. You are a locomotive captain traversing the wilderness, defeating harbors, delivering goods. But perhaps one day you will engage in charitable endeavors. The young lady blushes. So dangerous, so romantic. That sounds much more fun. Is it difficult? Perhaps my parents will buy me a locomotive? She seems bored for much of the rest of the tour. It seems the thrills of your profession outweigh the charm of inherited virtue. Okay. The tour moves on through the upper layer of Brabazon, towards a refinery that belches heat like a dying dragon. Peer through the window at the hour refiners. Please line up here. That's it. The overseer indicates alongside a long, low window. It has been recently cleaned to a shine. Inside, hard-working souls refine raw hours imported from the reach. After this process, they may be spun in hour looms and put to use. He taps his carriage clock as an example. The refinery is a clamoring, roaring space of long benches, sweating workers and rolling smoke. The overseer explains. The geodes containing the hours are cracked open, and the fibrous strands of salt-like time are separated with small chisels and saws. Men and women do the former work, children the latter. Right. Industrial era. The filaments are then passed through a series of furnaces to remove impurities, which are in turn brushed away in an indigo slush. The slush is raked to ensure not even a stray minute is lost. Once the seconds and minutes and hours are extracted, they are seasoned, taken from a very high temperature to a very low one and back. After this, the tangled clumps, the color of the sky just before dawn or after dusk, are corded and wound onto spools in long filaments. Okay. The overseer raps sharply on the window. As one, the nearby workers look up, smile, and wave. Hurry off after the rest of the tour or linger and watch. What do they do when they haven't got an audience? We can guess that. Yeah, we'll just follow the tour. The lead overseer is all concern and smiles when you rejoin the group. Given his care now, it is odd he didn't check you were still with them when they moved on. Perhaps what matters is only what can be reported back. You have used nearly half your time. Leaving the refinery behind, you turn through the streets towards the ceaseless ring of hammers. A short walk, then you enter a dusty yard. Watch the rock breaking. The tour leader adopts a noble frown. Unfortunately, not all work on Brabazon can be creatively fulfilling. We also produce raw components like gravel and aggregates. You have looped back to yard near the bit between. The second overseer is already there. Men and women hard with muscle, bright with sweat, are breaking rocks with sledgehammers. They wear vests and breeches with cloth masks to keep out the worst of the dust. We equip our workers with safety gear, just in case prolonged exertion in this air might prove unpleasant. As you can see, the regular exercise ensures they are strong and healthy. That's such a nice way to put it. Many leave Brabazon with athletic inclinations and pursue fitness as a profession. The stout gentleman with the monocle sidles up to you. This whole place is just marvelous, eh? Kept busy while paying off debts, given new skills and education. Simply marvelous. We could agree, equivocate, or state that you are repulsed by the whole thing. That would not lead to anything good. Equivocate. Well, on the one hand, yes, and on the other hand, no, and on the third hand, we just agree or equivocate. It would be better to fit in, right? Let's be hypocritical here. He nods vigorously, his chin's bouncing. We could do more though, don't you think? His brow furrows mightily. Perhaps a library. A theatre would be too louche. Come on, the overseer is gesturing at you angrily. We can't waste another moment. We have to leave, now. Complete the tour of Brabazon World. It's important we return in plenty of time, so I'm afraid we'll have to end the tour here. The lead overseer circles the group, shepherding the huddle through the doors, back to the bit between. The second overseer takes a head count, a poor one, for she double counts twice before giving up. Nevertheless, she signals her partner to go ahead. I hope you appreciated our little tour, and we shall pass your thanks on to the workers of Brabazon. Perhaps when they've paid off their debts, you'll see them again. The overseer shakes the hands of the most prominent donors. Of course, this entire endeavor is thanks to your generosity, he murmurs to them. While the group preens, he collects the carriage clocks. The overseer who takes your spent carriage clock draws you aside. You're a skyfarer, aren't you? We've need for someone, without official connections to the governor, to help us with a delicate matter. We need someone who isn't one of the sponsors. Hey, there was a point to us going through that tour. They are unsavory individuals on Brabazon World. There are unsavory individuals. They inveigle others to do their work. Never seen that word, I can guess what it means, but... Inveigle. Inveigle or inveigle? There are two possible pronunciations. Okay. Yeah, they bring them to do that. Okay. So that they might have the time to plot. They are fomenting unrest. He shakes his head. It won't do. It just makes the other workers unhappy. Next time, see if you can sneak away from the tour. I hear their leader is looking for outside assistance. He winces. For once, time is on their side. They have so long to plan, relative to us. If you hear anything, pass it to me. I'll be around here. Suggest he does it himself. That's... stupid. Of course that won't work, he's a known face. Tell him to go to the blazes. Okay. Make no promises, except with apparent delight. The workwells are vital to London's industry. They keep debtors out of prison. Revolutionaries here are fools. Yeah, let's negotiate that. Is he offering anything in return? Will he make it worth your while? I'm not going to behave with him the same way I behaved with the rich nobles from before. You can expect the nobles to give you a reward for nothing. It's an overseer here. We need to drive a bargain. Thank you. I wasn't hoping for anything more definite. He He smiles, but it's not a happy one. I'll be putting a case to the governor. I'll make sure you're paid for any information that helps us quell unrest. Helps us keep the workers happy. I am sure that's the main goal here. He shakes your hand. Thank you. Come back to me if you hear anything. I'll be around. Will you pay for the tour? No. We can pay with a bunch of things actually. Star Shine. Huh? With a weird eye symbol here. I don't know what that is. The gods are not corruptible. Starshine does not help them perform their daily toil and keep others at theirs. You would most certainly not be allowed to join a tour in exchange for it. Why do I have the option then? The workers are not yet rising up. Not yet. The workers are not yet so unhappy that they will rise up. Okay, well we could do that again. We want to do that with unseasoned hours, right? We could buy munitions here. I expected us to be able to buy hours here since they are produced here, but okay. Oh, not unseasoned hours. They're producing seasoned hours. Okay, okay. So we could buy that. I don't know that I want to do it.